Where are the shoes, man? Where are they at? For goodness sakes. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be chatting about the Travis Scott Fragment design Jordan 1 lows that were apparently supposed to release today. It's today. They're not here. Where are they? What's going on? Let's chat about what could potentially be happening with this release, because I feel like a lot of people out there just want to take the L and move on already. You know, people want to get in the drawers, take their L's, and then see where they can find some good reps of these. We'll talk a little bit about the resell. We'll talk a little bit about some theories around what could be happening, but let's start off with what we know about the release. What we know is that, at least here in the UK, these things have not released today on the Nike Sneakers app. If you go onto the Travis Scott website right now, at the time of filming, there's no raffle release information, no links, none of that type of stuff on the website. And from what we are hearing, there are unconfirmed rumors of a potential postponement. That postponement presupposes the date of the 20th today was always going to be a thing. So I'm not sure whether these have actually been postponed or that date was never valid in the first instance. So it's very murky. A sneakers app release is not even expected at this point as well. And retailers have not reported a release either. So that's kind of a very sketchy sketch of what's going on at the moment. Now, when this sneaker first broke, or when we first started hearing release info around this sneaker, maybe like a month or two ago, there was an initial rumor that these were only going to be made available on the Travis Scott website. That was it. And a lot of people were poo-pooing that rumor, to use a technical term, suggesting that it would be absurd for Nike to basically just give all of the product to Travis to sell on his website, particularly given the reputation that Travis's team has around bulk reselling and pre-selling the limited allocations of stock that tends to go up on the Travis Scott website. Not to mention also that the Travis Scott website generally gets mad botted to high hell, giving anybody that enters on that raffle the smallest scintilla of a chance of copying anyway. That rumor has a little bit more credibility about it at the moment. Now, this rumor could also be bolstered or further evidenced by the fact that the resell on these things is crazy high, hinting at a potential hoarding of what stock is out there, or some pre-sale action going on in the resale markets. And most of the sizes out there are available. The only sizes you can't find on StockX are in a UK 3, tiny size, or the larger sizes. UK 11.5 is also unavailable, but we're talking UK 14, 15, 16, 17. Those sizes are not available, but the popular sizes, the sizes that they would have made the most units of, are indeed available. And the prices right now are, scandalous. My size, UK 9, 9.5, 1,951 pounds, which is basically $2,700. That's crazy. That is pandemic price Travis Scott's. $2,700. That's rent these days. That's a tank of gas with inflation these days. That is a lot of money to pay for a pair of shoes. And you can bet that these early resale prices, as well as the way that the release has played out so far, is only going to motivate people out there to go and cop reps of these. That is for sure. I certainly won't be spending $2,700 or $2,800 on a pair of these myself. I think they're nice. Like, just taking a brief moment to talk about the shoe, I think they are nice. It's a clean shoe. It's simple. They're not too loud. They're not too crazy. It's the nicest Travis Scott Jordan 1 low we've had in some time. You'd probably even consider them a top 5 Jordan 1 low from Travis Scott. These, the mochas, the OG fragments, reverse. I mean, you do your own ranking, but I do think it is a really nice shoe for sure. But they're not like $2,700 nice, man. They're not even like a couple of racks nice. They're not even like $1,000 nice. And that's coming from someone that has paid resale for a lot of different shoes. They're nice, but bro, $2,700, not that nice. Right, so back to the release. back to the shoe. Will retailers get these? I don't know. We've seen with Nike so far this year a commitment to their collaborative retail partners. Just a quick example, recent example, the undefeated fours. Retailers didn't get the undefeated fours. They were exclusive to undefeated, and then the Nike sneakers app, and then that was it. No other retailers got any stock. So it wouldn't be completely out of the blue for Nike to hoard this release for themselves and Travis Scott exclusively. So yeah, unless we see retailers over the course of the next week starting to run raffles for these, once we start to get some leaks around, possible store lists, I would operate under the assumption these things are going to be Travis Scott websites and then maybe a Nike sneakers app release. I don't see retailers necessarily getting their hands on these, but I obviously could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I'm sure we'll see an updates in the coming days. With the sneakers app release itself, I would envisage, if these do come out on the Nike sneakers app, that it would be like an annoying exclusive access type situation, which exclusive access sucks, unless of course you get it, and then exclusive access rules. Go exclusive access, only if you get it. It feels a little bit disappointing when exclusive access gets wheeled out to people other than yourself, because only you know your dedication to the Nike sneakers app and just how many L's you've taken over the years. So I wouldn't imagine they would run a first come first serve for these, no way. The app would completely get cooked. I could see them doing like a raffle, like the 15-minute raffle or something like that. They could do something like that, but more likely whatever pairs they do have to sell would likely be seeded out via exclusive access. Could be wrong, but if they do a Nike sneakers app release, yeah, that's how I see it playing out. So to briefly summarize where we are, guys, I'm sorry I can't be more informative. I'm sorry I can't give you any hot tickets, hot off the press, fresh from some skanky, musty Discord server knowledge. All I can speak to is pretty much what's whipping around out there. I'm anticipating Travis Scott website raffle to maybe go live today on the 20th, or maybe like another day during the week. These are a thing. These do exist. They are supposed to be releasing to the public. It's supposed to be something like 40 or 50K pairs. Whether or not they end up getting a Nike sneakers app release is yet to be determined. I would imagine they would. I can't see why Nike wouldn't want to release these through their own Nike sneakers app. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't. I can't understand why they wouldn't want one of their hottest items of the entire year to get pumped out on the Nike sneakers app. So yeah, my opinion, Travis Scott website raffle, that's going to be cooked. Nike sneakers app release, probably exclusive access. Retailers, it's a 50-50 whether retailers get them or not. It doesn't seem to me like retailers are getting them, because we haven't seen the usual like backdooring pairs, resellers sitting on mountains of them, or I'm sure those pictures are out there, but we haven't been seeing them to the same extent that we normally would in the days leading up to a release. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with this shoe, guys. I'll keep you guys posted and updated. If you guys want to follow me over on my IG, I'll be keeping some people updated over there with my stories and some content and stuff like that. Otherwise, yeah, who cares, man? It's just another Jordan 1 low. If these things were in this colorway but the swoosh was around the other way, wouldn't be such a big deal. It's still clean though. I do still like these. Let's while we're here, jump into a couple of other sneaker stories before we tie up today's episode. You guys might have seen Steven Smith's latest shoe. It's a pretty cool croc shoe actually, and it has Steven Smith's signature design language embedded within it. You can sort of see the whole like Yeezy-esque look about these, the conch shell vibes. They look pretty cool on feet as well. Yeah, these look kind of nifty, man. These look kind of sweet, kind of like a foam runner or a penny croc, something like that. I kind of like these. No specific release date information on these yet, but they look kind of tough. Had some better looks at the Fragment Union collab, which is supposed to be dropping next year. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like these are pretty disappointing, honestly. When we'd seen them before on the feet of Hiroshi, they were sort of obscured. You could get a general sense for them. But now that we've got these in-hand pictures, they're pretty underwhelming to my eye. Clean, simple. I'm not mad at the simplicity. I'm not mad at the shoe. Jordan 1, bro, classic, if not played out. But I don't know, man. It feels like the creative combined acumen of Union and Fragment have come together to produce something incredibly underwhelming, something very flat. These things look played out. This is like a played out playbook shoe. The Panda colorway, incredibly played out. The Jordan 1, incredibly played out. You could even argue that Union and Fragment individually are played out when it comes to their Nike collabs. A lot of their recent stuff has not been hitting. It's repeats and repetition of previous stuff that was hot like 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. So to see this shoe now, I don't know, it's a bit underwhelming, like I said. Am I still gonna try and cop? Yeah, for sure. Right, so apparently the Fear of God Adidas collaboration is coming to an end with one of the final shoes as part of the collab, set to be these, the Fear of God Athletics Basketball 2 in the Ash Silver. These things are out there and available from what I can understand here. And yeah, the rumor is these are marking the end of a collaboration that, let's face it, has been a bit of a flop. I do have an episode planned talking about the flop that was the Adidas and Jerry collaboration. These shoes, they look okay. Nothing special. They look okay. The Fear of God design language is evident. Color palettes, very Fear of God-esque. It's a nice shoe, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I feel like people are ready for this collaboration to end. You could argue it never really even got started. What are you guys saying on this? Right, let's take a detailed look at the Tom Sachs Mars Yard 3.0. These things released this week, or they've been released via raffles. Man, these shoes are so divisive because so many people out there, myself included, have never really understood the hype around the Tom Sachs Mars Yard shoe. Still a cool shoe though, don't get me wrong. But yeah, did you guys pick these up? Feel free to let me know. Okay, to finish off today's episode, let's talk about some of the shoes coming out this week. Maybe they're coming out, maybe they're not. Maybe we'll do a whole episode talking about where are these New Balance 574s at. I don't know. You do have the Stone Island New Balance 574 Ghost Collection. I was talking about these in less than complimentary terms during my last episode in the week, and so many people got a bit offended by my rinsing and denouncing of the New Balance 574. Look, it is an ugly shoe. We're not going to debate about that. In my opinion, these are pretty ugly, but ugly isn't even necessarily a bad thing these days. September the 27th, you've got the Jordan 5 Tokyo. I think, again, not 100% sure whether or not these are indeed dropping on the 27th. I guess keep your eyes peeled to your local retailers as well as the Nike Sneakers app for an update. This, to my mind, is one of the shoes of the year. These, the Undefeateds, 2 Grail tier retros that I personally am looking forward to getting my hands on. I'm taking these over every other 5 of the year just because I've wanted this shoe for so long. So that is a big release on the 27th. On the same day, there's also a Gel Cumulus Asics dropping, which is the collaboration between 6 or 7 retail entities. And you guys know my opinion on this shoe. For that level of collaboration, these things have come out, yeah, fairly underwhelmingly, but hey, all good. Nice looking shoe though, nonetheless. There are also raffles out there available at the moment, at least here in the UK, for the Action Bronson New Balance 992s, the brown pair. So that's another big pair dropping this week as well. And as I said, guys, I'll keep you guys updated on any info I get hip to regarding the Travis Scott Fragments. Good luck keeping your eyes peeled on the website, Travis Scott website, for the raffle. Keep an eye on any updates from the Nike Sneakers app, but I would have thought Travis Scott website first and foremost. Once that's all done and dusted and the hypes sort of settle a little bit, then we'll probably get some updates on the Nike Sneakers app. I would imagine probably next Saturday on the Nike Sneakers app is where we'll likely see whatever stock is left over seeded out via exclusive access or a draw or something like that. That's the way I see it playing out, but I could be wrong and probably will be. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Have a good one. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch the video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.